Andrey D starts his review of our Spectrum with a picture on his laptop with the wrong magnetic pulsar. The page he has opened is a Super P magnetic pulsar, and it's a package deal of 4 separate instruments. This is a picture of the Spectrum he should have shown you. You may notice he does not do a review of any of the other instruments. The picture of the plug and socket. The paddle plug is not rated. That is correct. All ratings are calibrated at a continuous amperage rating, which is not the case with Spectrum magnetic pulses, as it is only on for 3 microseconds, 180 times in a full second. That is a lot of off time. That is why we have not had a problem with the plug and socket combination in some 20 years. The reason I went with this plug and socket combination was that I needed a paddle that could be removed, but I also needed a locking device. In this picture now, you can see that we have a new plug and socket that is rated at 30 amps continuous and lockable. I have been using those since 2021. Andrey D now starts the Spectrum on low range and dial setting at 0. Guesses it's running at about 2 pulses a second, but on the front panel below the dial it clearly says 3 pulses a second is where it starts. Andrey D now turns the dial to 10 and guesses its speed is about 18 to 20 pulses per second, but it's clearly marked at 50 pulses per second at full range. Andrey D does not appear to have read the instructions. I have to explain something before we continue our comments on Andrey D's review. First of all, Andrey D does not disclose that he is a manufacturer of magnetic pulses, so it appears that his reviews might possibly be biased in his comments towards PMF devices that are manufactured by other companies. It appears that Andrey D does not disclose his name, address, mobile, phone number or LAN number, nor even his business name on his website. Perhaps he does not want to receive negative feedback from his customers or to supply after sales service or repair services. In contrast, Klemens Pulses disclose all contact details and have been producing PMF units for over 20 years. The company is well established, trading internationally, and is registered with ASIC. While not intending to accuse Andrey D of intentionally being dishonest, it seems his own actions lead one to form that conclusion. Andrey D published 2 videos on his YouTube channel that supposedly review the Klemens Spectrum. The information is erroneous in the extreme, but when I wrote our views of the Spectrum 3 times on his YouTube channel, he had removed them without acknowledgement and without correcting the errors that were pointed out by my comments. What is Andrey D's motive? Perhaps his ambition is to direct traffic to his YouTube channel by presenting his competitors' PMF units in a very bad light compared to his own product. It seems also that he has endeavoured to cast aspersions on our honesty in order to prevent potential customers purchasing from us and instead purchasing one of his units. So if you want a quick, unbiased review of Klemens Pulses, just pop over to eBay, search for our products, and you will notice that we have 100% positive feedback, highlighted in yellow. We also have excellent feedback from our customers many of whom are repeat customers. Now I need to discuss the Gauss meter. This is where it gets interesting. Andrey D makes another serious error where he states, and he uses the Cypress Gauss meter to measure PMF. The error that Andrey D and Sota make, and others, is that the strength of the PMF unit can be determined by how high the pulse can flip a coin, how much metal it can bend, or by using the Cypress Gauss meter model 5170/5180. All three tests are unscientific and inaccurate. According to the manufacturer, the Gauss meter that Andrey and Sota use to test their unit strength is only capable of measuring 1. Static DC magnetic fields, non-pulse fields that is, created by permanent magnets. 2. AC magnetic fields, a field formed by a sine wave that alternates from positive to negative at 50 to 60 cycles per second. These ones are considered harmful to humans. The PMF devices produce a pulsed DC pulse magnetic field. These are similar to permanent magnets, except that the field is pulsing. Published research claims that the PMF can be beneficial. In PMF, the pulses switch on and off, but there are no pulses in a permanent magnet, which is static. There are some Gauss meters, like the vector magnitude Gauss meter, that is sensitive enough to measure pulses up to 5 milliseconds and up to 800 Gauss. But there are none that we have found that can read 3 microseconds at 3 Tesla Gauss level that Klemens Spectrum operates at. Klemens pulses produce a PMF pulse electromagnetic field that pulses with a square wave. One side of the paddle will produce a pulse positive charge magnetic field, while the other side will produce a pulse negative charge magnetic field at the same time. Slow speed pulses have a long on time and even longer off time. The long on time is sufficient to enable a reading on the Cypress Gauss meter or flip a coin, but the reading can't be accurate as the Cypress meter manufacturer does not specify an on time that would provide an accurate reading. On our website, we have the link to the vector Gauss meter that gives a sensitivity of up to the 5 milliseconds and up to a maximum of 800 Gauss. The Cypress Gauss meters manufacturers do not claim their units can accurately measure the pulse produced by PMF devices. The Cypress Gauss meter is used by Andrey D and Sota to substantiate their product claims and testing other manufacturers' PMF devices. Check our website for more detailed descriptions of our Gauss calculations. I have not seen any other manufacturer describe these details. All the above information is described in more details here on clemenspulses.com/criticisms replies on our website. Andrey D's top-of-the-range PMF unit, when set on position 1 and fast mode at 2 Tesla, can only operate for a 4-minute, 15-second maximum time period before overheating, and only achieves a maximum of 120 pulses in that time. Andrey D does not appear to publish the resting time required before the paddle is cool enough to start another PMF session. A pulse counter is mounted on the unit to display his 120 pulses. In contrast, the Klemens Spectrum operates at 180 pulses per second, the Spectrum will have completed a total of 45,900 pulses at 2.6 Tesla in the same time period. It's like comparing a single-shot rifle to a machine gun. The measure of a device is not only the strength of each pulse, but how many pulses it is capable of producing in a given time. A machine gun requires it to be built more robust and heavy than a single-shot rifle. Both serve a function, but one will do a lot better than the other. Andrey D states that he has purchased 2 Klemens pulses, and it appears that he has taken some of my ideas and adopted them and applied them to his latest unit. Let's continue with Andrey D's review. He switches the Spectrum to high range, and once again he guesses the frequency. On the lowest dial setting of 0, Andrey D suggests it's producing 20 pulses a second, and on setting 10 he believes it to be producing around 100 Hz. 100 Hz and 100 pulses a second is the same thing. Then has another re-guess and states, it could be 120 Hz. But then he changes his mind and states, I think I might be wrong, and so he settles at 80 Hz. Wow. On the front panel of the Spectrum, below the dial, it clearly prints that the frequency is between 50 to 100 pulses per second. Then he attempts to measure the Gauss on high range, and of course the meter is stuck on the same 250 Gauss level as it was on the low range. I wonder why. The Cypress Gauss meter misread the Gauss on low range. So why would anyone expect it to be accurate on high range when the product is not capable of reading the Gauss levels at all? When he goes on to give a general opinion about the Spectrum, he makes another guess in regards to how much the Spectrum weighs, but does not use a scale. Don't see the relevance of doing that. Then he turns the Spectrum on its side and supposes that the red and black RCA sockets are designed to plug in a silver generator. The RCA sockets are provided to enable tuning into specific frequencies as per the written instructions that accompany the unit on purchase. Then Andrey D states that the paddle comes with a stand. Sorry, Andrey, in fact, that supposed stand is a free radiation absorber. Again, this information was provided in the written material, and on which Andrey D seems to not have read. Then he goes back to the laptop after concluding that the Gauss power was low, and he tries to find the output specification of the Spectrum. Andrey D is still on the Super P page, 4-in-1 package on our website. All the technical details are specified on the individual PMF units, not on the packages, as that is too much information. Andrey D then claims that the Spectrum PMF costs, well, he implies about $1,000, which is incorrect, as he reads information on the package deal. In actual fact, the Spectrum costs about $650 US, including delivery. Andrey D claims he wasn't sure how much the unit costs in US, but he had bought 2 of them already. Andrey's top-of-the-range unit with 2 paddles cost US $1,995. I'll let you guys make your own conclusion about Andrey D review. Thanks for listening and keep pulsing. Thank you.